So I wanted to make this video about something I learned in therapy just yesterday, which is called Take in the Good. It's similar to a gratitude list, and if you're about to exit out of this video because you don't like toxic positivity, take it from somebody who also hates toxic positivity. Gratitude lists and exercises like taking in the good actually help me once I start doing them. So please just try to challenge your comfort zones a little bit. Taking in the good is like a gratitude list, except rather than listing the things that you can be grateful for, you're listing things that you can be proud of and happy about. Things that have to do with what you've accomplished, what you've done, some characteristics that you liked about yourself, just examples of how you've been living within your values. So after you listen to this video, I would like you to try this for yourself and comment down below what it felt like, what you realized, and if you're a negative person like me and you did this, then I will be so proud of you because you were challenging your comfort zones. And yeah, I'm just gonna get right into the list that I made this morning. So let me get my journal here. Taking in the good. Okay. For one thing, I know that I'm a caring person. I'm making mental health videos on YouTube despite, not getting monetized, not doing it for any sort of gain, but I just care about helping people. So I am very passionate about these videos. I remember 3 years ago, I was running a blog and I was very passionate about what I was sharing, but I was so camera shy that I didn't even want to record my voice. So I never in a million years would have thought I would be making videos, talking. I'm still a little camera shy. As you can see, I use Sims instead of my real body on the camera, but I'm talking, and that's a step, and I'm very proud of myself for that. Okay, number 2, I set boundaries and maintain them. So I only keep friends in my life who are emotionally validating to me, and I make new friends that I vet, and I'm very picky about the people that I choose to be in my life, and that's something I'm proud of. I'm happy being me because I'm not just letting anyone in. Compared to my past self, I would just go with whoever wanted to be my friend because I didn't want to be lonely. And I just have to toot my own horn because I was brave enough to cut people out. I was brave enough to admit to myself when I needed to be more assertive, and that's what I've learned to do. Number 3, I'm not as needy and as leechy as I used to be. I used to be so dependent on my husband. Back when we were dating, I remember just crying to myself, believing that he'll never love me the way that I love him. He'll never be as attached to me the way that I'm attached to him, all because we had different attachment styles, and I thought that meant that I was just unlovable. And I believed that for a few years until I went to DBT and talked to a therapist. But for a long time, I really believed all of these negative things, and I felt some resentment towards him, which made me very inflexible towards letting him hang out with people. I'm so ashamed of this now because now that I'm on the other side of things, I can see the light and I can feel more secure with myself. So this one is dedicated to the fact that I'm reasonable, flexible, and stronger. I'm able to still feel the fear of losing him. I'm not gonna lie, I still have that separation anxiety, but I'm able to think rationally about things. Like even as I'm triggered, I'm able to talk to him about it rather than just cry and yell like I used to. And that is a win in my opinion. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 is rising to the occasion at work. So as you know, I've said in my past videos, I have a job and it requires a lot of social interaction. Now, I was unemployed before I got this job. I got fired by my previous employer they were a toxic work environment, but because I'm a perfectionist and I have BPD, I started to blame myself for that. So in my mind, I was marked as like not good enough, never good enough. But I got hired by my company and they are like the opposite of what that toxic environment was like. So I instantly fell in love with my job. But the only problem was I was surrounded by extroverts. And I was not only introverted, but socially anxious around everyone. So 2 years ago, any type of social interaction, even if it was just like a 10-minute, let me get to know you type of meeting or some kind of fun team event, like one time the team went to goat yoga, I would get so nervous. I would start sweating profusely, freak out in my head, think that everyone thought I was weird. And I just believed that everybody knew I was anxious and awkward. So it took me a long time to build relationships with people. It took me about a year to make a close friendship with one of my friends at work. And I'm sure that they felt it because, like, imagine how I stood out like a sore thumb around people who are chatty, funny, like charismatic, naturally assertive. I just felt so awkward, and I still do. I still have bad thoughts, but these are only when I'm splitting. All of this is just to build up what I've done so far, and what I've done is improved. So not only do I have meetings with people, hang out with people without freaking out, but I've made like 4 close friendships at work. I've also rose to the occasion to manage people at work. I run meetings, I initiate casual meetings with others. So not only am I able to take on like these social interactions, I initiate them. So that's something that I don't really look at. A lot of the times when I feel bad about myself, I am thinking that I should be at a certain level at work, like I should be a more important manager. And I think about all the times that I was awkward. I think about how my CEO might think I'm dumb, or, just the catastrophizing that goes on when you're anxious. But after taking a moment to just let how far I've come sink in as I was writing this, I got to thinking that I am actually doing great. And it doesn't matter what my negative BPD gremlins say about me, saying that I'll never be as good as other people because I have anxiety and I have BPD. I don't give a shit. Compared to where I was a year ago, I'm doing fucking great. And I need to stop believing my BPD gremlins. So thank you, therapists, for giving me this exercise because I'm starting to feel more confident already. I am in a position where I need to speak up. I need to lay down the law. I need to lead other people. And the fact that I've been doing that despite having mental illness is a big deal to me. So it's not really about the prestige of being a manager. It's more about how far I've fucking come. Like, I'm doing things that I never thought I could do. Even like eating lunch with my boss would freak me out in the past. But now I'm just a different person. And I wouldn't have realized it without doing this exercise for my therapy. Next on the list is self-loving. I can't say that I love myself yet, to be honest. I really have trouble believing that, so I'm not going to lie and pretend to be positive. That's what I think is toxic positivity, when you're not being true to yourself. But I will say that I am taking steps to be self-loving. Like, I've just recently decided not to put work at the forefront of my life. Like, I'm tired of prioritizing my workaholism. I'm tired of being a workaholic. How I was before, I was extremely die-hard obsessed with work. It took me until now to realize that that's just not the type of life that I want. That doesn't match up with my values. One of my main values I've decided is self-care. So if I'm constantly making my life about work, what does that say about me and how I care about myself? I don't want to be the background anymore. So that is something I'm proud of. Realizing this, waking up, not wasting my days away, obsessed with work and obsessed with what people at work think of me. Next on the list is tough-minded. I think of myself as kind of like a CBT/DBT warrior. I mean, obviously when I started DBT, I needed to treat it like it was learning to ride a bike. But now I feel like I'm on a motorcycle and I'm able to just zoom through when I have triggers. So that's something I'm really proud of, compared to in the past where my first resort was self-harm or like bugging my husband to make me feel better. Now I'm like self-sufficient, and that is a big deal. This is not something I would have noticed without writing this list. Again, I'm gonna say it. This list is really helping me realize that I'm a fucking gem. I'm a treasure. Like, yes, I have these symptoms, but I actually do the work it takes to not fall back onto my addictions, I feel tired like every single day. And that's maybe why I don't realize that all of this is true. I feel so proud of myself, and I never feel that. Like, I'm almost gonna cry because, like, you don't understand how hard I am on myself. This is what I wanted to share. Just that even if you're a negative type of thinker like me, doing something corny like this is actually helpful, and we need it because we are always falling back on the what ifs, the negative what ifs. And we deserve to think about the alternatives to that negativity. And sometimes forcing yourself to do something that is weird and scary and something you didn't think you would like is exactly what you need to push yourself out of that comfort zone. So that's my testament. I'm not going to read the rest because I feel kind of weird now just talking so highly about myself. Like, I just feel a little awkward. So I'm just going to keep the rest of the list to myself. But I hope that you take away something from this video and you consider sharing some of your wins with me because I really care about your recovery. Feel free to add me on Instagram if you want to be pen pals. I DM people and I like to just talk about your day or my day and just help each other feel less alone. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later in my next video. Bye.